Remember, in the early part of Deuteronomy, Moses is going back to the past to remind them of things from their own past that they should remember to help them stay encouraged in the present and be optimistic about the future. And in Deuteronomy chapter 1, one of the things that he reminds them about their past is there was a lot of fighting, like amongst themselves. That's what he's talking about. He's like, do you remember all the friction and the infighting there was among us? Like so much that we needed to find other ways to deal with it. Like I couldn't carry the burden. You guys were coming to me with so many different arguments and so many different problems, and there was so much friction that it was really overwhelming to me. And so we needed to find other people who could help me deal with this massive weight of all these different fights that were happening among us, infighting. Apparently a big problem. Thankfully, we are past that today. No, not so much. I don't know how many conversations I've had with people around the holidays here. It started before Thanksgiving and now going into Christmas, where somebody's saying, I feel one way and my family feels the other way. Like I feel comfortable getting together, but certain members of my family don't. Or I know certain members of my family really want to get together and it would be really good, but I just don't know if I'm up for it. I don't know if I feel it's the right thing to do. And it's led to some friction. I've certainly noticed friction within a lot of marriages. Is that many marriages over the last month since the pandemic started, they've been faced with new challenges. They've been forced to interact with one another under different circumstances, and not all of them are doing well. Some of them are doing quite the opposite. And it's hurting a lot of people. There's friction among friends on any number of topics, on masks and politics, and if you're missing out on any of these things, just hop on social media once, and I think you'll be able to dive in pretty quickly. But there's a lot of friction, and so how do you deal with it? Well, Moses dealt with it. He dealt with it. Of course, they talked about it. They wrestled through the different situations and circumstances and arguments and all those different things. But as he's remembering the past with the Israelites, he gave them this encouragement. He said, as we're going through all these things, and as uncomfortable as they sometimes are, don't be afraid of any person, because justice belongs to our God. Or another way of saying that would be, all these different people might treat you wrong. They might inflict pain on you, but don't be afraid of them, because God will always treat you right. God will always treat you right, no matter what anyone else ever does or says to you. Just look at the cross of Jesus. When everybody was treating him wrong, his friends who should have been there for him, his government who shouldn't have condemned him, the crowds that just a few days earlier were shouting his praise were now shouting for his crucifixion. But no matter what they did to him, no matter how painful it was, we know the result of that. God treated you right. Well, better than right. He treated you and me far better than we should ever have the right to expect from him. And he always will. And so as you think about all the different people in your life, thank God for the ones that you're at peace with. Thank God for them, their blessings. And the ones that you're not, the ones that are making life more difficult than it needs to be, don't be afraid of them. Don't let them trouble your mind for one more moment. You can rest well tonight, my friends, because God will always treat you right.